Wow. Victor Conte responds to Boxingego regarding Oscar Valdez testing positive for Phentermine. And you won't believe some of the things that he told me. He says it in fact is a PED. And we're going to talk about that in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest. Hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss a thing. Now, you got to subscribe to my channel because I'm not going from the top. I'm just going to give you the cliff notes. Oscar Valdez, champion, WBC, coming off the best win of his career, in my opinion, against Miguel Berchelt. He was scheduled for his first title defense, new division 130, failed a drug test for a banned substance. And the WBC tried to sweep it under the rug, and they're saying the show goes on. They greenlit it to happen. On my channel, I'm doing a hashtag blackout. I will not be supporting or watching the fight. And a lot of people are up in arms. You can go to the WBC pages when they're posting about it. Now, a person of note, Victor Conte, and if you don't know who he is, then you have to check some of my other videos or a simple Google Wikipedia search. But he was involved in that whole world of PEDs, and you know, it came down like people were being supplied. Now, I asked him a question about Phentermine, since that's his level of expertise, and he did respond to me. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. He's been talking about this heavily, so there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. Oh, here it is. Boom. I asked him because the WBC came out backing Oscar Valdez and saying, oh, he didn't do nothing wrong, and a lot of media is just spreading stuff on, and like, no, he failed for a banned substance under VADA rules. This was supposed to be under VADA rules with the clean boxing program. He should be stripped like any other fighter. I've made a video, and I'll put a card at the end of this video so you guys can check it out. In 2014, Adrian Broner said, I just beat the uck out of a Mexican, which was part of his can man shtick. And the WBC stripped him from the rankings, removed him from the rankings, and publicly let it be known that they were suspending him until he had an apology, or he had to clarify those statements. But then in boxing 2021, the WBC is allowing someone to fail a drug test under their own clean boxing program, and then they're breaking the rules for him. So clearly this can't be good. Now, I asked Victor Conte, so the WBC is now saying that it's not a performance enhancing drug. Do you agree or disagree, Victor Conte? Does this give an unfair advantage to the user when not prescribed it? And I also tagged Mimo Heredia, who's also in the boxing world. And then I sent the article where the WBC said it's a very complicated week. This is the reply from Victor Conte. He says, it is well known that Phentermine is in fact a performance enhancing drug. The fact that it is prohibited on fight night proves that it enhances performance. That's a great point. Why would they ban it on fight night if it didn't have any effects? The WBC, and he tagged them, is wrong. It increases speed, strength, and endurance, plus aids in rapid weight cuts. So one of the common prescriptions, if you go to a weight loss clinic, that they'll put you on is if you're obese, basically morbidly obese or pre-diabetic, things like that, hypertension, and you're at risk, the doctors will sometimes prescribe this Phentermine because you can get weight off you quick. So that in itself is an unfair advantage, because how is it that every other fighter has to just work hard, run 8-9 miles a day, and you can sit at home and run 4 miles and get on this Phentermine that you weren't prescribed? Oscar Valdez admitted that he had no prescription for it, says he doesn't know how it got in his system, and that's all he can tell us. He said he's a clean fighter. So how is that not a performance enhancing drug, and how is that fair when you have no prescription? He told you that on tape. So the WBC is absolutely wrong. Shout out to Victor Conte for responding. He's the head of SNAC, and this just looks bad. It says, if asked to list some of the most effective PEDs for a boxer, it would include phentermine. It increases your heart rate and pumps more oxygen to muscle tissues, plus it increases speed, strength, and stamina. Wow. It also suppresses your appetite and burns more calories for rapid weight cuts, and the WBC approves it. Not only did they approve it and break their own rules under the clean boxing program, they also said that phentermine is similar to drinking 3 Red Bulls. And you have a PED guru or supplement specialist in Victor Conte, and he's saying it's a performance enhancing drugs, and we're to believe Mauricio Suleiman, the president of the WBC, and he has no background in medical or sports science. Wow. And he says it increases your heart rate, pumps more oxygen. So as you guys can see, this is FUBAR, and they might as well just cancel the fight and strip Oscar Valdez. They chose not to, so we'll see how this plays out. But we're definitely boycotting and blacking out the fight. I can't support this in my sport. Victor Conte's going in. He said, did the WBC's Mauricio Suleiman possibly drink 3 Red Bulls and then make such an intoxicated decision? Does the WBC boxing think that all of boxing is stupid? We live in a world of Google, not the cave age. Science has proven that phentermine is a PED, performance enhancing drug. Is the WBC a dictatorship or what? And someone said it's like talking to a rock. A drunk would have already seen the mistake in this. So the WBC, I don't even understand why they would do this to their brand. But hey, man, Victor Conte's going in. U.S. cyclist accepts 2-year ban after testing positive for phentermine. The WBC boxing should explain why a cyclist was banned for 2 years if phentermine is not a PED. Ooh. Oh, man. WBC Mauricio Suleiman, stop lying. Phentermine is a PED, science-based or corruption-based decision. So he's giving it to him. And he put the link, it looks like he put the link to the cyclist that got suspended or banned for 2 years. And he's like, man, you lying to the people. USADA announced, oh, wow. U.S. cycling athlete accepts 2-year ban after testing positive for phentermine. Oh, it's over. It's over. He did the research for y'all. Look, so why did this cyclist get a 2-year ban if there's no benefits, if it's like drinking a Red Bull? Again, I told you they were insulting your intelligence. A Red Bull, you can buy 3 Red Bulls at any local corner store or convenience store. You can't get phentermine unless you have a prescription. So that shows you that we're talking about different substances. The other thing, Oscar Valdez explains that he don't know how it got in his system. Ignorance is not an excuse. Listen.
Oscar, you tested positive for phentermine, a stimulant prohibited by the Voluntary Anti-Doping Association. You don't have a prescription, do you?
No, I don't have no prescription.
How did it happen?
What I can say is that I'm a 100% clean fighter. I don't know how that got into my body. I know every fighter is responsible for whatever they consume. But on behalf of myself, I have no clear answer how that got into my body. I've always been and I will always be a clean fighter, so I have no serious question of how that got into my body.
Wow. As you guys heard, that definitely didn't sound good. He was kind of stuttering around. Victor Conte says, quote, we have a violation of VADA standards that the athlete agreed to comply with, standard that the WBC say are needed to ensure, quote, clean boxing. The WBC has agreed to use VADA prohibited substance list for years up until now. Why? In my opinion, it's all about cash money. So the corruption is being exposed right in front of you. It's difficult. He's going off. It's difficult to understand how there's any integrity left in the self-named clean boxing program when they have the right to unilaterally, arbitrarily, and retroactively say a contractually banned substance is okay to ingest. Mauricio Suleiman seems drunk. Oh man, he going off on him. In my opinion, the lawyer for hire, Pat English, that's Oscar Valdez's lawyer, needs to be held accountable as an officer of the court for presenting the fraudulent herbal tea story to the boxing world. There is a connection between herbal tea and the drug phentermine. There is zero connection. I believe English knows this is true. So he just told you that he didn't know how it got in his system, but the first story they concocted was that it was herbal tea. And they really think boxing fans are going to let this slide, and this is just, they're going to get away with this. Make sure you do not watch this fight. We need to set standards in boxing. Victor Conte concludes, in my opinion, WBC needs to be held accountable for their unacceptable behavior. Boxers need to unite and stand up against this outright fraud and corruption. Oscar Valdez signed and agreed to obey VADA rules. If enough boxers agree, a class action lawsuit against the WBC should be considered. Amen. I like his energy. Maybe that's what it's going to take. It's going to take either a lawsuit and loss of finances, or for a fighter to die or permanently be injured, like Magomed Abdusalamov when he fought Mike Perez for boxing to get it right. But we cannot let this slide. I don't care what old media is talking about. There's no protecting. There's no rule, and certain fighters are above that rule. I have already showed you Adrian Broner was suspended for words he said. How are we talking about a fighter fighting this week when he just failed his A and B sample per VADA's own rules? This can't go on. Make sure you let your voice be heard. Hit him up on social media. Hit up Disney. Hit up ESPN. Hit up Suleiman. Hit up the WBC Top Rank. This is just foul. And you have a PED expert who's confirming it, and he's saying it is a PED. And again, how is it not if it helps you lose weight and you weren't prescribed it? So when you're prescribed phentermine, from all the research I did, they only have you on it for short stints, like 3 months, because it's so powerful. And the responsible doctors are supposed to monitor your progress on phentermine to make sure your vitals are still good and everything's working as planned. If Oscar Valdez has this in his system, that means you're on it without being monitored. We don't know how you got it, and it's unregulated. Nobody's regulating how much you're using or how frequently you're using it, how long you've been using it. You have no answer for why it's in your system. It's in your system. Again, ignorance can't be an excuse. Canelo's gym looking funny in the light, and the WBC's looking crazy. Let me know how I did in this video. Use my link in the description to get TUBEBUDDY. TUBEBUDDY is an awesome browser extension, so you can make money on YouTube like yours truly. Consider TUBEBUDDY. It's definitely the #1 tool for us YouTubers. If you want to get seen, get your videos seen. That's all I got to say. Shout out to Victor Conte for the enlightenment. And it looks bad when you have PED gurus and supplement specialists. They're telling you one thing, and the WBC is trying to cover it up. And they're telling you with no expertise in that field, something different. And I'm out. Like and subscribe. Deuces.